Hi, welcome back to Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast. This is Eartha, and we're going to continue our discussion on burnout. In the previous podcast, if you remember, there was a scenario, a clip about a worker who was counting on his help being there to complete a big job. And the help wasn't there, so he had to call into the office and ask for temporary help to come in and help him. And he's a little bit frustrated. And at the end of the clip, he mentioned he needed a vacation. Now, would a vacation really help? Maybe. At the time. But when he comes back from vacation and he's on another job, if the situation continues to repeat itself, then the vacation really is not the answer. And in this podcast, this is not about leadership or management. This is not the goal for our time together. The goal is, in those kind of situations, how do you take care of yourself? Self-care. And it's not meant to be selfish. And I think sometimes when we entertain the thought of taking care of ourselves, we feel a little guilty or we hesitate because we perceive that as, oh, I should be putting other people in front of me. I should take care of other people. If you don't take care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of anyone, not even yourself. Our body systems need to be monitored, and so we should invest the time to learn how do we self-monitor. And that's where mindfulness comes in. If we're working in a situation, we're working with people, any job, there's going to be unexpected whatever. How we respond to the unexpected whatever is a choice that we make. We could also choose to take a breath, bring our awareness to our breath, pay attention to how is this situation, how is this making me feel? And that doesn't mean that I'm going to go into a corner and get into a lotus position and disconnect from what's going on. That's unrealistic, and that is not the goal of my mindfulness program. With transition awareness breathing, I invite you to take what you learn in being aware of what's going on in your body, take it with you and use it like a tool. Taking a breath is free. And maybe when we have unexpected circumstances, it may be helpful to say to ourselves, I need a moment. I need a minute. Okay, what are my options? Totally losing it and not regulating our emotions, however way that is done. It's like shaking up a soda pop bottle and seeing, this is a choice now. I'm going to see, and I'm going to get myself so stirred up. I want to see how long it's going to take for me to explode, and that will fix them. And if you do that enough and shake those soda pop bottles inside, and you build up your emotions and you challenge yourself, that's whatever the situation is, you're just going to let them have it. The body responds. It goes into a survival mode, and it thinks that there's dinosaurs and saber-toothed tigers coming after it. And so the blood circulation changes, the sensitivity to the nervous system changes, our focus changes, our thinking changes. And sometimes our actions are not always the most rational. And we're left with the remnants of our explosion. And the people around who had experienced that explosion, they're going home. They're going to their families. They're going on their vacations. And you're stuck with the leftover of your soda pop bottle all over you. That's the part that we can visit mindfully and see what choices can we make so that we're not stirring ourselves up to a point where we're losing our rational thinking, our responses, our judgment. And that when we do go on a vacation, it's a true vacation. And you can truly, with your whole heart and your mind and your body and your soul, you can take in the beauty around you. And that experience lasts for many years. If you go on vacation and you're talking about the experience or work or whatever the stressors are, then it's not really a true vacation. It's just a change in location. And the body will still respond as if that stress is still present. And so it's a chronic buildup of stress and pressure, and chronic buildup of stress and pressure. And so we want to come back down to a baseline and find our baseline. We find ourselves thinking back and ruminating on if this didn't happen, or if they didn't do this, or if, then we're living in a land of if. And that's also a choice. I wonder, when we make that choice, how much we're pulling ourselves away from the present of now, the presence of, okay, I need a moment. We're going to work this out. And if we're going to use the world of if, I invite you, one thought. Think of a situation that was very challenging, and maybe it was when you were very young, or high school, or college. And if you're a student, maybe it was when you were in a younger grade. Think of a situation that you thought that you could never, ever get out of. You felt like you were, in a situation that you didn't think was going to work out. Pay attention to the memories that come from that experience. And now, as you look back on it, pay attention, bring your awareness to how things worked out. And pay attention to, if you were in that situation again, what would you have done differently? And in that situation, if things worked out pretty positive, pretty well for you the first time, what occurred? What things happened that allowed those things, that situation, to work out well for you? How exactly did it happen? This is what happens with journaling. That really helps. You can maybe see a pattern, and maybe even different resources. Looking at situations and experiences as a chance to learn from may be very mindful in how we respond to different situations, because we can look back and reflect, okay, I've been through a tough situation before, or I've been through a situation similar to this, but maybe not. Maybe I need to ask for help, or maybe I'm not experienced in how to handle this. And just maybe to that point, admitting, it's like, okay, I've never done this before. And that's okay. When we are trying to go through this difficult, challenging life situations, being honest with ourselves may be another practice. Understanding our limitations and realizing this is an opportunity for me to grow. And also realizing, stepping outside of ourselves, so to speak, and maybe realizing that the person who you're having an interaction with, maybe they're kind of inexperienced in a situation also, and they're responding in a way that is kind of showing their inexperience. They're kind of have their little barriers up. And so, when they put their barriers up, of course, then we put our barriers up, and then we all need to go on vacation. Think of a situation, a pleasant situation. In your eyes, maybe you had a challenging situation and everything worked out fine. Maybe you went to a really great vacation and there were some challenges. You planned everything out and things didn't work out. How exactly did you work through that and realize that you are the champion? You're able to make a change. It's not the environment, it's not the people, it's you're bringing your experience and your gifts and your talents. Whether it's having a plan B, or asking for help, or taking a mindful breath, it's your presence. It's making a change in the situation of burnout. Do we need a big water hose and just let go and just spray everyone when we're burnt out? And have you ever seen a water hose and the force of the water can be very damaging compared to maybe a gentle stream, a calm breeze. When it rains and there's a calmness in the air and there's just gentle drops just coming from the clouds, and you can see the leaves on the trees just welcoming the gentleness, the warmth, the moisture, and even the smell, so fresh. Everything rejuvenates. I invite you this week to realize inside of you are the tools to be aware of your feelings, to take a breath, and to allow a gentleness, a gentle approach, a gentle word, a gentle thought. And I am aware sometimes there's situations where you may feel you have to get in a very stern demeanor, a way of coming across. Maybe. What usually works is because you are the leader and you are the champion, and when you are in a calm demeanor, in a calm way of presenting yourself, the body is calm, the mind is calm, your breathing is calm, the oxygen is getting to your brain. And if you need a moment, it's okay to say, I need a moment. And recognize that whatever I do, whatever I say, will be my choice. And so we are able to choose what we will say in a situation where we feel we're burnt out. Sometimes changing an environment is helpful. The environment is toxic. Realizing what can you change and what are the things you cannot change. Is it things going according to your values? Is an organization's culture? Is it something that you can really work with? If it's going against your values, maybe you do need to change, but it's a discovery of yourself. It's not so much discovery of the place where you're working or the place where you're having social relationships. It's you that's growing. And so when you're in a point where you're growing and you're getting frustrated, it's because you're going to a new level of self-discovery. Not everyone will be able to grow with you, and that's okay. You can't force people to grow. Everyone is growing at their own pace. And so this week, take a moment and participate in your self-discovery. Maybe journal. How are you handling situations differently now than before? And you might find yourself growing. And if that's so, then realize that the thing that is the emotions that is stirring is maybe it's not burnout, but maybe it's time to grow, go to a new level. You know, maybe it's time to be a giver in the situation and be a trainer or a leader or a developer or branching out on your own business or coming up with a club where different people can develop and you can be the lead. I mean, there's all kinds of different things. Those are just some suggestions, but just realizing that it may be, just like in this scenario, that it's a marker of growth. If we live in a land of if, then we really want to make sure that we're really living in a land of now. We use our paths to grow, and we look forward to the future to make it better. I invite you to join me in a mindful practice as we close up our time together.
I invite you to get into a comfortable position. Find a focal point and concentrate on your breath. Allow the perception of burnout to be an indicator that it's time to make a change. A change of learning something new, reading a new book, going a different route from the mundane, and maybe reflecting on it's time to take care of self.
And I look forward to seeing you again next time.